My name's Victor Carrillo, and I'm a baby boomer. And I'm proud to say that. Because us baby boomers, we rock. We're more active these days. And that's why I decided to do this show, Young at Heart. Oh yeah, I could be sitting in my recliner relaxing, watching Netflix, but no. I'm forcing myself to get out here and enjoy what Colorado has to offer. Anything from kayaking, hiking, snow skiing, wakeboarding, whatever you enjoy doing, Colorado has something for you. So, enjoy this episode of Young at Heart. Okay, we're up here, Crested Butte. We're checking out the wildflowers. The views are so beautiful up here. Aspen trees, variety of wildflowers. It's really a nice day out, probably what would you say, in the 70s?
Yeah.
70s, maybe 80 tops. And we're just doing a little, about a mile and a half each way, so yeah, I think that's 3 miles, right?
Yeah.
Oh, so anyway, we're gonna keep on going up the trail, but before we do that, let's cut to this episode's Young at Heart Spotlight. Today we're in my hometown, Northglenn, Colorado, a quaint little town north of Denver. On this episode, we're talking to not one, but two Young at Heart Spotlights. First of which is a friend and former classmate from Northglenn High School, class of 1983. Meet Julie Solomon.
Hello.
Welcome, Julie.
Thank you.
So, first of all, tell us a little bit about yourself. Were you born and raised here in Northglenn?
I was born and raised here in Northglenn.
Very good. And how many kids do you have?
I have 4 girls.
4 girls, and what are their names and ages?
Savannah is 30, Maria is 27, Christina is 26, or I'm sorry, Christina is 23, and Lily is 16.
Very good. Okay, so I want to know a little bit why we're here today. What's going on today, and why are you dressed like you're dressed?
We are having an annual poker run remembrance ride for Rod Norman, one of our fallen riders that belongs to the Legion, or the American Legion Riders.
Which is where we're at now.
Yes.
And this is, so American Legion, tell us, people who don't not really familiar with that, what is the American Legion and what do they do?
Well, basically I joined up to the American Legion about 2 years ago. My dad was in the Navy, and he was a member, and him and my mom would come down here, and basically they would come here after golf and enjoy the time with their friends. And
like today is a fundraiser, it's a poker run?
It's a poker run, and we are raising money for Rod's wife so she can donate all the money that is raised today to any veterans charity, I guess you would say.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, for those of us who don't know what a poker run is, what exactly is a poker run?
It is where all of us get together and we basically pay $20 per rider, and we get a card that basically you fill out every stop that you make. You get a card.
Like a poker. Like a poker hand.
Right.
Five cards, right?
Right. So each stop you get a card, and you're trying to get the best hand.
Okay.
So basically, on a poker run that I've been on before, you can, I won low hand, and I won $125.
The worst hand, that maybe.
Right.
You had no pairs, nothing.
Right. Right. Nothing.
Don't go to Vegas, Julie.
Right. Right. You can also buy tickets because they have gifts that they hand out for basically when they call your ticket number, you know, you can win certain prizes. So we'll start here. This is the first. Do you get a card here, or you have to go to the first location to get your first card? To our first location. I believe our first stop is in Louisville.
So you'll ride to Louisville, and then Fort Lupton,
Keansburg, and Firestone.
And then you'll come back here, and it's like a big party, isn't it?
Right. We will basically have all the prizes out, call all the tickets that were sold today, and that's where everybody wins prizes and has a good time.
So there's barbecue. I can smell some barbecue right now. And
right.
I'm already getting hungry, but so it'll be like a big party afterwards, and then they'll draw, see who has the best hand and the worst hand. Why don't you try for the best hand this time?
I'll try for the best hand this time.
That'd be a roll. All right. So tell me a little bit about how you got into motorcycling. Now, some people like to be called a cyclist, or some people like to be called biker. What do you...
I'm considered a rider.
A rider, okay.
I'm a rider.
And when did you get into riding?
I started 4 years ago. A girlfriend of mine that I went to high school with, we decided that we wanted to get our motorcycle license, so we did.
Well, what's entailed in getting your motorcycle license? How do you just go to the DMV?
Well, we basically went to a 2-day course at Front Range Community College, and we had really good teachers, and that's the best thing to do, is take a 2-day class.
So you highly recommend that?
Yes.
I'm a rider as well, and I took that class, and I had been riding years prior to that, and I took that class, and I realized I really didn't know how to ride that well.
Right.
I mean, in certain circumstances.
It's so much better to have these classes nowadays because of all the people that are out there on the roads, and you got to watch for everybody.
That's the key. You got to be 2-3 steps ahead of them,
yes,
anticipating what they're going to do.
Right.
So when you went down to the DMV to get your motorcycle endorsement, the M, did that kind of feel good, or?
It felt very good to have it, yes, and to have the knowledge that I had after taking the course as well.
So you felt confident after that, saying, I'm ready to ride. Did you
Yes.
have a motorcycle prior to that, or?
No, I bought a 2003 Honda Shadow, and it fit me perfect. I had went to several people to try them out, and a lot of them were too heavy for me. And I believe that the one that I got was perfect because I could lift it up and not have any problems, and I felt very comfortable.
So there might be other people our age. I'm 53.
I'm also 53. Since
And
we went to high school together.
That's right. And so you're a baby boomer as well.
Yes.
And that's what the show is about, active baby boomers in Colorado. Say there's somebody who's watching you now and say, maybe I'd like to try to ride a motorcycle. And what would be some of your recommendations or any hints of how do you get started or what to do?
Well, I would basically just talk to people that they know that ride, or just go on a biker's webpage and talk to people and see what they've done. My favorite thing is that I had somebody, my cousin, that I knew rode for many years, and I asked her to help me and ride with me, and she did that with me, and I think that made me feel more comfortable to have somebody by my side too.
That's good. I know it seems like there's a lot more women on the road, and I love it because now they know what it's like to ride.
Right.
Before they were known as Bob, and we won't get into that.
Right.
So now there's a new connotation for Bob, babe on bike. I don't know. I like that better than the...
That sounds good. That sounds a lot better.
So it's good to see that, and hopefully this will get somebody out there and say, hey, if she can do it, I can do it. I want to do this. So
yes, anybody that wants to do it, they would enjoy it, definitely. They just have to make sure that they take the course, get a bike that you are comfortable with, and have people by your side to ride with you if that's what you feel comfortable with, because I mean it's a great time. I love to ride.
I hear that. All right, so what we're gonna do is we'll go take a look at your bike.
Okay.
You can tell us a little about it, and then we're gonna see what this poker.
All right, Julie. So this is her, huh?
Yes.
Or is it her or him?
Her.
And what's her name?
Diamond.
Blue Diamond. Okay,
Yes.
let's see what you got here. Tell us a little bit about your Blue Diamond.
Well, I bought her 4 years ago. She was probably the 5th one that I picked because she felt good. She's nice and light. I can take her anywhere, and it's a great bike.
That's right.
Get one with the independent rear.
Oh, man.
This is our second. Still. Got straight axle.
You don't see the cave, but the she was in a wheelchair.
Well, everybody's stuck.
Holy moly.
They really should have.
Yeah, I got lucky.
I got lucky. She hit him.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Where's your bell?
I have a puppy one. It was like.
So what? Tell me. I see the bell on your bike. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Well, people give other people that ride these bells, so they basically make them stay safe.
So
That's what I've heard.
and the story I heard
Okay.
was that it's to keep evil spirits or gremlins, sometimes they call them, from sabotaging your bikes. So they'll jump on your bike,
Oh,
and the
interesting.
bell, they get stuck inside of it, and they have sensitive hearing,
Oh,
so they have to fall off because they can't handle the ringing of the bell.
oh, that's good. I like that.
And we appreciate you being on this episode of Young at Heart.
Thank you very much.
Well, in Northland, be sure and visit Periodic Brewing on Irma and 112th. We're here with the manager, Mike Dunford. He's going to tell us a little bit about the brewery and what they have to offer. Welcome.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. So, tell us a little bit of the history about the brewing company first. It says Leadville as well as Northland. So, tell us the story about Leadville.
So our company originated in Leadville, Colorado. Our owner's husband's father is the mayor of Leadville.
Oh, really?
And he picked up some buildings from old existing breweries there.
Right.
And kind of started our company in September 2015.
Okay.
So in end of 2017, we were in the market to expand.
Mm-hmm.
So we, started searching the Front Range, Colorado, be it the distribution hub of Colorado.
Sure.
So we took an existing brewery again, so our second existing brewery we took over. We shut it down in December 2017, reopened the brewery in March 2018, took 3 months to remodel the place and turn it into our own.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we decided, that this is a pretty logistical good spot to have, distribution out of.
There's not a lot of breweries in this area east of I-25, I noticed.
Correct. So we decided that the 40-barrel brew house here would fit our distribution needs.
Okay.
And we brew, some awesome beers, 2 style.
So 40 barrel, what does that mean to the everyday Joe?
So 1 barrel of beer is about 2 kegs.
Okay.
And 1 barrel is about 33 gallons.
Okay.
And so 40 barrels would equate to about 1,260 gallons.
So a microbrewery and a brewery, what's the difference between those?
Well, a microbrewery and a brewery, they're pretty much the same. I would classify it as independently owned.
Okay.
And we are independently owned.
And who are the owners?
Chris Labe and Pam Labe. They
Okay.
are the main owners.
Are they from Leadville or are they from in this
They are
area?
from Leadville, yeah.
Okay. So they decided to come down here and open up another brewery down here in Northland of all
Yeah.
places. Northland is where I grew up.
Oh, very cool.
You didn't know that because you don't know me.
Yeah. I grew up in North Glen too.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
You went to North Glen High School?
I did.
No kidding. Class
Graduated
of
2010.
2000. Okay, well, mine is 1983.
So my dad graduated.
No kidding? What's your dad's name?
Francis or Ed?
I'm not sure. There was like 500 plus people who
Yeah.
graduated my class.
Yeah.
So I don't quite recall. But anyway, I'm digressing. So tell us a little bit about the beers here. So are you involved in the brewing process?
Yeah, I have helped brew some of the beers here at North Glen. I am not the head brewer. I probably be assistant brewer.
Okay, who's the head brewer?
Our head brewer is the owner, Chris, and then he's got a microbiologist working for us from Left Hand.
Oh.
And he's more head of sanitation, quality control.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he does he still work at Left Hand, or he works here?
He works here exclusively
solely?
now.
Oh, very good.
So we have
How'd you get him?
a lot of money.
Yeah, no
He was
kidding.
expensive. But,
Very good.
But
it paid off.
It paid off because we make some really good beer here.
All right, tell us about what you got here.
So here, the first beer I have here is our Kolsch.
Okay.
It's called Bleidorf. So
Bleidorf.
it's a made-up German word. So Blei as in village,
Okay.
or Blei as lead, Dorf as in village.
Okay.
And so this beer is a German Kolsch, traditional German style beer, made with all Pilsner malt, some wheat, and then some Munich malt.
Okay.
This beer is designed to be, the everyday drinker.
Okay.
So when you get people come in and they ask for Bud Light, this is what we give them. And it's not Bud Light. This
Right.
beer is cereal in a glass.
Yes.
And it is one of our staples at Periodic Brewing.
Is it something specific to women or men, or everybody who's kind of likes lighter beers?
This beer is designed for anybody who likes lighter beers. You can drink 5 or 6 of them on a hot day and be just fine.
Okay.
It's only 5% alcohol
Okay.
and 25 IBUs.
Oh.
So
Not
it's
real
very,
bitter?
very light, not bitter, just really clean, really refreshing, drinkable beer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
And then our second beer I have here is our Sugarloaf Amber.
Okay.
This is one of our flagship beers also. This beer is designed for the person who likes a little more flavor, a little more body to their beer.
Okay.
Caramel toffee, kind of some nuttiness to it.
All right.
And this beer is brewed with a Pilsner malt also.
All right.
So be it a Pilsner malt, you get a lighter body but bigger flavor.
Now, are the ingredients here from Colorado, or do you get them from elsewhere?
We get our ingredients from a company called GW Great Western Malting Company.
Okay.
And they source malts from all over the country.
Oh.
And so we get malts from Germany and Midwest, a little bit of everywhere.
Okay.
Depending on the style of beer we brew.
Okay.
And then here's our next beer. This was the first beer brewed at the North Glen facility. We brewed this back in January.
Oh.
It is one of our most complex beers we have.
By
This beer-
complex, you mean what?
Well, this beer was supposed to be our Hope Pass. And when we were brewing this beer, we had some problems. We had some hiccups, sat in the mash tun for 4 hours, half of it sat in the boil for 4 hours.
Okay.
So we got an extremely good extraction rate on this beer. So we got a lot of sugars out of it. And then to throw the icing on the cake, we bought yeast from a Colorado company, trying to support small people, and they gave us a yeast that was blended with another strain of yeast.
Okay.
So this is supposed to be an American IPA, but it turned out to be an American-Belgian blend IPA.
Ah.
So this IPA, supposed to be about 7.5%,
Right.
came out to be about 9.
Whoa. That's
And
like
so
a double IPA.
You get the big Belgian notes. It's very much like a double IPA. The maltiness is just there because of all the extraction we had on it. And it is my personal favorite beer here at North Glen.
Okay.
And also in charge of trying to recreate it. So recreate the perfect storm. I don't know how it's going to go. And then lastly, but definitely not least, is our other flagship beer. It is called the Tourmaline Black Ale.
Okay.
A black ale is kind of a lesser known style. So when you have this beer, you expect it to be dark and heavy, but it's not. It's actually light and really drinkable.
So it's not like a porter
It's
or
not
a stout.
porter or a stout.
It's an ale.
It's a black ale.
Oh, okay.
And so this beer, I would classify it as a black pale ale. So like a pale ale is a little brother to an IPA.
Yeah.
This is the little brother to a porter or stout. And so light drinkable, but still got those nice roasty coffee notes to it.
Okay.
So it's got dark crystal malts in it, and Amarillo and Centennial in the dry hop.
Oh, wow.
So it's dry hopped like an IPA, but brewed like a porter or a stout. So it's another very complex beer.
Is that longer to brew or?
No, same amount of time to brew.
Yeah.
You just use darker malts, and
Right.
it's about 6.5%.
Okay.
So it's an easy drinking beer.
What about the IBUs on that?
IBUs, that one comes in about 37. So
Real smooth.
not too bitter. Just a
But it
real
still has
easy
that
drinking
coffee
beer.
taste.
Yeah.
Very good. And what do you have up here?
These are packaged beers.
Okay.
So this is our Sugarloaf Amber, which I told you about over here.
Okay.
It is, the light American amber that you can just drink.
Okay.
Here I have our Kolsch. And the Kolsch, it's packaged for the everyday drinker.
Okay.
And then this is our Hope Pass IPA, which I haven't told you about. This is our flagship beer that this slow mash was supposed to be.
Okay.
And so this beer and these beers are very, very similar. Obviously, this one's got a little more bitterness because of the longer boil and a little bit more, alcohol just because of the yeast that was in it. So this beer is drier, but this beer is fuller bodied.
This is a, 7?
This was 7.5% IPA. That's the one you had.
And
it was a really good beer.
Oh yeah, I love
nice
that
clean bitterness, really, kind of grapefruit, passion fruit notes out of it.
Yep.
It's just if you like IPAs, that's the one you're gonna drink.
That's the one I enjoyed the most. So. Okay, very good. So we're located Irma and 112.
Yep.
And your hours? What are your hours?
Monday through Thursday we're 3 to 10.
Okay.
And Friday through Sunday we're noon to 10.
Noon to 10. And they're food trucks, I assume?
Food trucks on the weekends, live music on Saturday nights from 6 to 9.
Okay.
Tonight we have a country rock and roll kind of blend music.
Okay.
And haven't had them before, so let's see how it goes.
All right.
But
what about clientele? Are people from all over? Or
we get
locals?
people, from out of state, out of country. That's people from Canada yesterday.
Oh, really? Okay.
And so people, the brewery scene's really good in Colorado.
Did you say, how's your beer, eh?
I didn't go that far.
Oh, okay.
I didn't go any Mountie jokes either. So I left it, very professional and just welcomed them to the brewery. And, we get people from out of the country. Like this morning I had a guy from Oklahoma.
Okay, yeah.
So we get people from all over the country, all over the world coming to visit this place.
How do you get the word out?
So our name likes to speak for itself because we are the highest craft brewery in North America. Our Leadville location is 10,152 feet.
Right.
So you might need to bring some oxygen if you drink beer.
And the higher you are, the drunker you get quicker, correct?
Absolutely, yeah.
So be careful.
So alcohol will hit you harder at altitude.
Very good.
But do go visit our Leadville location if you do visit periodically.
Okay. So I'm an IPA guy.
Right.
And I love this hop. And so what would you recommend to try out of those next?
If it was up to me, I'd go for the slow mash.
Okay.
I know it's a little bit bigger beer, but we do shorter pours too. So you don't have to drink the full 16 ounces and, send you out on the road drunk, because we don't do that.
No, that's a no-no. All right, mind if I try that?
Absolutely, yeah, go for it. You'll notice some very similarities to the Hope Pass. It's, to me, it's a little more bitter, but it's also got a dryness to it.
So the mash, you said the smash or mash?
Slow mash.
Slow mash.
Yeah.
Not smash.
It was an entendre on how the brewing process happened.
Okay.
So, like I said, it sat in the mash tun for 4 hours. Generally, beers are only mashed for 1 hour or 60 minutes.
Okay.
It's called a cereal mash. You just kind of crush the grains and throw them in the mash and steep them at about 148 degrees.
But this was 4 hours.
And that was 4 hours in the mash tun.
Was that by accident?
It was by accident. we had some hiccups. It was the first time we brewed here in North Carolina. It was a monster of a brew day. It was over an 18-hour brew day when we brewed that beer.
Oh wow!
Normally it should only be about 4.
Okay.
So
if somebody wants to take this home with them, or out of state or something, they can buy by bottle, correct?
Correct.
You got crowlers?
We have crowlers, so we do 32-ounce crowlers filled up at the tap rail. This is our crowler and growler filling station. This fills it up under a head of CO2. It purges your vessel, be it a bottle or can, with CO2. It's really easy. You just slap your vessel in there, seal it up to the gasket, go down here, select your style. So this one's going to be our slow mash IPA. And you select your size. Just going to fill up the can right now as we speak. It's got a nice little readout of ounces as you fill it up. And then once it's done filling, I bring it over to this machine. It's a Dixie can seamer. And it will seam our cans in the blink of an eye. And it's a commercially packaged product. So we're up here, we're at almost 3 ounces already. It's a pretty cool machine. Here at Periodic, we always have 30 beers on tap. 30 beers on tap. 15 of ours are here all the time, and then 15 rotators from guests around the Colorado area. It's a really good selection of beer. We have an application that you can download, and you can see all of our beer releases. It's called Periodic Brewing on your Android or iOS app store. It's pretty cool. So we're almost full. It's gonna fill up to 32 ounces because that's the size of this can. Get a little overfilled. That's alright. Everyone loves more beer. So we come over here. Now that it says end, I can remove the can. It's got a nice, bit of foam on it. It's full to the brim, as you can see. You just slap your seam on there. Put it up into the next machine. Just like that, we have a commercially canned product ready for distribution.
Ready to put in my pocket.
You could also buy the growlers.
Correct. And then that's your traditional glass bottle or stainless steel, whatever you have.
And what's the typical time on a growler?
A growler's good.
Short time.
I wouldn't push it more than a month if you don't open it.
Okay.
But as soon as you open it, you probably want to drink it.
Within a day or two?
Yeah, pretty much right away.
Right away.
Yeah, it's only 4 beers, so share it with a buddy.
There you go.
You know.
There you go. All right. Well, I appreciate that, Mike. And I'm going to finish this and enjoy my day. And I appreciate you talking to us.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Take care.
Nice to meet you.
Our next Young at Heart Spotlight is also a friend and former Northglenn High School classmate, 1983. Meet Tammy Anderson.
Hello.
Hi, Tammy. Thanks for joining us.
You betcha.
So, the reason we have you here, you just took up motorcycle riding.
I did.
Tell me a little bit, what were you doing? Were you just decided, I need something to do, or?
So, well, one, this is kind of funny, Young at Heart. I don't feel like I've been out of school for 5 years.
Yeah.
Mark lies like 35 years. But I've always wanted to ride. All of the family on my dad's side rides, and as you may know, a lot of our classmates from Northglenn ride.
Right.
And I've just been thinking about it, and I almost bought a bike 2 years ago. And then this year I was just like, I'm gonna buy the bike. So I bought the bike, never ridden, I've always been a passenger.
Right.
Went and took a class up at Thunder Mountain Harley in Loveland.
So you highly recommend taking that class?
I would recommend that class, absolutely. Even for people who've been riding for 40 years and never took it, there's so much that you learn and that you become more aware of. Just in the proper way to do things.
Right.
A lot of people don't use their turn signals, and the bikes all have them. A lot of people don't wear helmets. It goes through the safety of the helmet, how to dress.
Right.
It was a 3-day class. I did a Friday night, a Saturday, and a Sunday. Friday night is all book work, and you learn about, and we had to do an online course that was like three hours before, and it went through all of the motorcycle stuff, and more like the test you're gonna take. And then on Saturday, we did range time, which was on the bikes, learning skills.
What kind of bike did they have?
They had some sort of little tiny Harleys. They didn't have like anything on it to identify what it was.
Oh, okay.
So smaller than the Sportster.
Probably about CC, probably about 500.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's probably 500
Pretty light,
cc.
easy to handle.
Yeah.
Okay.
it's funny because I got my bike delivered to my house because I didn't know how to drive it. And
So wait, tell me a little bit about. So you got it delivered.
I did.
So you went.
I went to Harley up. I actually bought my bike at Avalanche Harley up in Golden. They were having a really good deal, and I went in there and was like, "This is what I want." And I ended up buying a 2018 Harley Softail Slim.
How did you know it would feel right? I mean, you just sat on it and you just felt the weight, or?
A couple years ago, when I was really thinking about buying it and decided to buy one, I went up and I went to a couple
Somebody's
different...
taking your bike, I think.
I know, not mine. I'm watching. Mine's not that loud yet. So I sat on him a couple years ago, and I had a salesperson just kind of walk me through everything, and they ask you, what are you what kind of riding do you want to do? Are you going to ride on the highway? Are you going to go on long trips?
Right.
So those two things, if you're going to ride on the highway and go on long trips because you might want to pass a car or a big truck or something, you don't want to get the Sportster.
You need something heavier.
Yes.
Right.
So that's how I went with the next one up, which was the Softail Slim. And it just felt right, and it was low to the ground because at first I was really nervous about being able to hold the bike up.
Right.
So that it just felt right.
You can stand flat-footed.
Yep. It's their bikes are heavy, but I used to think, oh my God, one of those really like a street glide, like oh my God, that's way too high, like heavy and heavy. But you could ride it.
Right.
It's no different. I mean, you get on it and they handle.
The only time it's really heavy is when you have to pick it up.
When you have to pick it up.
Okay. How many miles you got on your bike so far?
About 300, maybe.
Also, did it have any when you bought it?
Like 40 or something, maybe.
So you've been practicing a lot.
Yep, I've been practicing every night.
Good for you.
Yeah. And then I figured, and I migrated into traffic, and because I was just driving it around my apartment complex in a big empty parking lot that's right near there, practicing swerving and turning and stopping.
So the first time you actually went on the road, how did it feel? Were you excited? Was it scary?
I was excited. I was nervous. I was scared. But the thing in the class that you learn is, you're always assessing the situation ahead. And even when I'm in my car now, I'm assessing everything, and I'm more noticeable. Like I know we learned about all the different street signs, and like you always want to find an escape path when you're on a motorcycle in case something happens. And so when I'm driving my car now, I'm more aware of like everything I've been taking advantage of for the last how many ever years I've been driving. Street signs, road signs, you see them, but you don't really pay attention to them. So I know when I was driving back to the class on the last day and I was taking I-25 up to Loveland, I was looking and I saw so many signs on the highway, and I'm like, oh my God, you never pay attention to that stuff.
No, you're right. You do. It makes you a safer car driver.
Yes.
Because you're a motorcycle.
I agree.
And you always plan 2-3 steps ahead of what somebody's going to do.
Yes, and I thought I was a little, pretty safe car driver, but I wasn't paying attention to stuff.
Right.
You get in your car and you drive to your destination.
Right.
Somewhere you've been 20 million times,
Exactly.
So it's just habit, kind of. But when you're on the motorcycle, it can't be a habit because you got to be paying attention. Because it's not the motorcycle people that cause the accidents. I don't think it's a lot of drivers around that just aren't paying attention to their surroundings.
Okay.
So it made me more aware too for motorcycles that are on the road when I'm driving.
So I appreciate you joining us on Young at Heart.
Well, thank you.
And I have a little gift for you.
A gift?
A gift, yes. Not flowers. I'm married. Sorry. All right. So, and I'll get close up on this. This is something that every biker should have.
Okay.
And when somebody gives it to you, it's a sign of respect. And it's for your safety.
Wow.
So, go ahead and take it out.
Okay.
See what it looks like.
Aww. Lady Rider Bell.
So we'll put that on your bike.
Okay.
When we go look at it.
Okay, awesome.
So let's go check out your bike.
Okay, let's go. This is my bike.
Tell me a little bit about your bike.
So this is the 2018 Harley Softail Slim. They did away, I don't know if you know, but they did away with the Dyna model. So they kind of merged the Dyna model with the Softail Slim. So if I had bought this bike 2 years ago and I really started looking at it, the motor would have been a lot smaller. So it was like a 103, now it's a 107. A lot of power. I don't know a ton about it. That's why I bought a new one, because I don't know how to work on them.
Well, you know one thing, right? It's a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun. It's so much fun.
But it feels balanced. You want to sit on it for me?
Sure. Yeah. No. It's a very comfortable Very, very comfortable. When I first got it though, I felt like, oh my gosh, I'm not gonna be able to do this.
Right?
But yeah, it's easy.
Oh yeah. So lift it up. Oh yeah. It looks like you plenty of room.
Oh yeah.
Very good. All right. Oh, and you look, you put the bell on.
I did put the bell on. Thank you again so much for that.
Welcome. That's going to help. All right. Well, I appreciate it. That's a beautiful bike.
Thank you. I'm gonna get some yellow pinstriping on, I think. Go north.
That's right. That's where we went to high school, folks.
Right.
All right. Well, I appreciate you joining us on this episode of Young at Heart.
Thanks for asking me.
You're welcome. And so you have some safe travels and have a lot of fun and get out there and ride, people.
I will. Next time you're up here on your bike, let's ride.
That's a date.
Okay.
All right.
Awesome.
Nice.
See you later.
Safe travels.
Thank you, Bell.
Take care. All right, boomers. I want to thank Julie and Tammy for being our Young at Heart spotlights. They're something else, aren't they? If you want to ride, be sure and take the safety course like they said. You could be out here too, riding at Pueblo Reservoir or up in the mountains, wherever you like to ride. Get out there, boomers. A lot to offer in Colorado. So now we're gonna head back to Crested Butte, the wildflower capital of the world. But before that, I'm ready for a cold craft beer. Yeah. Hey, look at there. All right. Get out there, boomers. All right, we just made it up here to Crested Butte. We're gonna go the Snodgrass Trail ahead. See if we can see some wildflowers. So let's go, check it out.
mosquitoes too, honey.
The hills come alive with the sound of music.
That was a nice hike. Beautiful day here at Crested Butte. We're gonna go ahead and head back. We want to thank you for joining us for this episode of Young at Heart. Now it's definitely time for a cold brew.